Don't you want it? 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 You lose your little mind. 5, 10 lives.
Welcome to the Deadlights podcast. I'm your host, Mini Sam.
And I'm Meanie Leslie, bringing you your mini horror little minisodes.
Tiny.
They're so tiny.
Oh my gosh, you can't even see them. They're so tiny.
They're
my eye. Ah! I got one in my eye. Please.
just grab Ant-Man's belt and just like, or Patrick's Wombo.
Wumbo. Classic. Fourth grade stuff. SpongeBob.
Patrick.
Is SpongeBob out of the like do kids still watch that?
I came across an episode that seemed pretty like modern, like
Okay, like they're still
in the
making it,
last
maybe?
couple of years.
Okay. Get it, Sponge.
I hated it.
No.
It was a clip of just the fish that screams my leg. And it was a full episode acknowledging that this is an actual fish. And everybody was just screaming my leg.
Gotcha.
For like a solid minute. And it was infuriating.
Wow.
It like drove me nuts. And I was like,
Interesting.
we are absolutely driving our children insane.
Well, and think about like, yes, we're driving our children insane. But also the parents that have to hear this on in the background while they're cooking or cleaning or whatever.
Oh, gosh.
That's even more like...
Well, my mom, she was like, SpongeBob is stupid. Like, this show's dumb.
I mean, that's kind of the point.
And, I mean, yeah. So, like, the children that, are watching shows now, we're like, God, that's garbage. And they're like, this is all I have.
Yeah. But I guess... we had SpongeBob, so...
We had SpongeBob, and we had a lot of terrible shows that probably we shouldn't have been watching.
Yes, absolutely.
Rimpy?
Rimpy and...
Rimpy? No, not... what was
Stinky? Rimpy and... Rempy and Stinky, isn't it?
Stinky? No.
Not Sticky, Stinky.
Not Stinky. But you know which one I'm talking about.
You guys
Everybody
know.
knows what we're talking about,
Yeah.
right? That little chihuahua, nasty ass chihuahua.
Nasty, yeah, like bald ass.
I've seen like clips of that show. It's terrible. It is bad.
I think for me, I think of Taco Bell. Not because Yo quiero Taco Bell, but because I think I got toys from like that show in a Taco Bell like kids meal, and it was
They were giving them out in McDonald's? That's not a show for children.
Taco Bell. I don't know.
Or
either
Taco
one.
Bell. No, well, I mean, we used to have toys for sure in our meals.
I mean,
Almost every meal. I remember Pizza Hut used to have little personalized pizzas for children. Oh, those were the best. I loved it.
Kids Oz.
Little personalized pizzas.
Nice.
Pizza kids.
Pizza kids.
Pizza kids.
Hey, you want to be a pizza adult one day? Well, first you're a pizza kid. And you get to eat your pizza.
You got to get your pizza.
Your kid-sized pizza, and here's your pizza toy.
Look, I read all of the books necessary in order for me to receive a free pizza this week.
That was a thing?
It was for me.
Oh, okay. Like a reading club?
In first grade.
Okay.
Yeah, it was fun.
Nice.
Did I read those books? Absolutely not.
The truth comes out.
Did my mom encourage me to put a fucking sticker on it and say that I did so then I can get a free meal? Absolutely.
Wow. The plot thickens and the truth is finally coming out.
Yes. I lied.
You might actually be hearing from your elementary school about them revoking your elementary school diploma.
My first grade certificate?
Yeah.
No.
We got to take it back because
I've
you didn't read them.
already digested all the pizzas that I ate when I was in first grade.
I'm not giving those pizzas back. I'm not giving those back.
I physically cannot. Although I did make pizzas last night. so I can't barf those up.
You have to make Pizza Hut pizzas for life now because of all the lying that you
I
did.
don't want to work at Pizza Hut.
I can't be much better than working at Subway. Or much
You're
worse.
right.
I'm not sure which way that goes.
Well, I've already done a fast food. I checked off a fast food job. Bingo.
Bingo.
Bingo. So I can continuing in like being a decent human being
Gotcha.
in society.
Well, okay. Let's not get down on the fast food workers. I'm sure they're fine people.
I'm just saying everybody needs to experience a shitty ass job at some point in their life, so you can understand the difficulties
This is very
of
true.
everything.
This is very true.
That I'm not saying.
We've met plenty of very shitty people that are very rich and has never worked a shitty job in their life.
You can tell. But anyways, that's not what the episode is about.
Oh my God, what are we doing here?
What are we doing? We are talking.
What we're actually doing here, we're talking about haunted houses,
Yeah.
haunted places,
Haunted places
that we've experienced
Yes.
in our lives, not just in the world.
No. I mean, they're in the world.
Yes, they are.
I didn't experience it in space.
No, not in this world. Yes,
In this world.
So yeah, we're each gonna share a little story about a spooky spot that we experienced. Do you want to go first, Leslie, or do you want me to go first?
I have one in mind. Yes.
Do it.
I remember going to my dad's side of the family, my grandparents' house, and it being just a spooky ass place. I was so afraid. I was so afraid of that place, which they built with their bare hands. They built it. They put their lead pipes underneath the ground. They didn't know back then. But they probably lead pipes and they built everything. And when they were having children, 3 of them passed away. So I didn't know this until later on in my life. And then other things like added to the house that I can understand why it was so spooky to me. And also, there were several rooms in which I did not go in.
Because bad vibes.
Bad vibes. And I remember the spookiest place in that house was my grandparents' room. Somehow, when they built their home, they didn't conceptualize putting windows. So their room was pitch black. Well, not pitch black. There was a sunroom, a sun window.
Yeah.
Light.
A skylight.
Skylight.
Yeah.
A light.
A
Skylight. And whatever window or film they used was green. And I love green. Green is my favorite color. But when you have a pitch black room with only one source of lighting and it was small and it was green, whatever light was filtering through was green, was creepy. It made shadows and corners in there seem so weird. I swear to you, I think I only went inside that room once in my life. I did not like the vibes there. I did not like it. And my family believes in all that spookiness and curses and stuff like that. So, man, I was scared.
So that's the room that they stayed in. They slept in that room?
Oh, yeah.
They didn't find it spooky?
I have no idea. I literally do not know. And it wasn't a big home. So it was pretty, because they were building it themselves. So they were making it as basic and as structured as possible. So you entered and then it was the living space, the living room. And then to your left was the kitchen. And then those rooms had a sliding door. So it kept all the cool air inside.
Mm-hmm.
And that is where 100% of my time was spent.
We got access to doors. We got access to outside.
Yes.
Windows.
Lots
of light.
That's it.
Yeah.
And then you open the sliding door, and there was like a little, just like, little, not even a stair. It was just kind of like a ramp.
Okay.
And then a long hallway with a door that took you to the outside. And as a child, that was like 20 steps or whatever. As an adult, that seemed closer. But when you're scared, it really, like, hallways just elongate. So that's what I remember. And you had to pass the creepy ass fucking bedroom to get to the bathroom, because the bathroom was all the way on the other side by the door, face like going outside.
Of course.
And because we live in the desert, there were spiders and there was freaky, creepy bugs roaming around.
On top of the creepy spirits walking the
Yeah.
halls. Jeez.
And, you know, I don't know if you have grandparents or relatives, older relatives that used to take pictures, but they would, like, draw them. No?
Mm-hmm.
So, in a lot of, the Mexican households, you have pictures of great-grandparents or great-aunts that were drawn when they were younger. So instead of a picture, it's a drawing. So there was one of my grandfather when he was much younger, and then one of my grandma, and that was one of the figures that, like, would be casted by this green light that just, like, fucking creeped me out. Because then it was, like, next to a opening with no door, and that room was always pitch black.
Oh.
And that was for a aunt that had experienced a lot of digression in her development. So then she kind of became more of a just a person that needed to be helped doing the daily things. So that was her room, that pitch black room with no windows. Never went in there. I just kind of saw it from afar.
That's enough.
But yeah, so in order to get to the bathroom, I always needed to, like, go down that hallway, and I was always, always, always afraid. Always.
Fucking sprint.
I didn't want anybody to see me being scared, so I didn't sprint a lot of the time, but I definitely, like you would do that slow walk in the beginning and then, like, fucking just, like, step it up.
And do it back again. I'm good.
Yeah.
Good. Yep.
That was
Oof.
that was my experience with a
Creepy.
creepy.
Scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, thank you. Mine actually isn't a house. It is a place, but it's not an actual physical house. In my town, there was a, like, local legend that was tested one time and did actually work with us, at least. It was, I can't remember the name of the road, but it was a specific road that it was just a long, dark road in the woods, and then when you got all the way to the end of the road, there was just a lamp post, and that was it. And it was just a dead end road. So
With, like, tree, like, was it dead because, like, there was a
thick forest around it. Oh. So deep in the forest.
Creepy.
And dirt road, and then at the end of the dirt road, lamp post that would be on. And so you drive your car all the way to the end and wait for a certain time. I can't remember what the time was. Wait for a certain time, and then at that time, the lamppost goes off. Your car dies.
No.
And
no.
Then, or turns off. And then
no.
it just stays off for a couple minutes and then comes back on. And then you can turn your car back on. And it did happen one time.
One time. The one time you were brave and went out there.
Yeah.
Who were you with? Friends?
Who was I with? It was me and just friends, like 3 other people there. I think it was around Halloween time too.
Oh, that's the perfect time to go.
And around the time too when we were first getting available to cars, like driver's
16
license. Yes,
and
exactly.
a half.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. And also, you have stated, I don't know, if you stated it on the podcast, but you said that you would have curfews. You had curfews.
Yes.
There was a city implemented curfew.
Mm-hmm.
So that was what, 10? So I'm just trying to gauge what time that was.
It was, I think, I want to say like around 11. It was not 11:11, but it was
11:59.
It was like 11 something o'clock at night. So it wasn't too late where you could still go out there and like get back somewhat early. But yeah, it was just something that you would always hear about around town. And other people went to do it and all that kind of stuff. It was like a weird, maybe like electromagnetic kind of thing that just happens around that area or something. I don't know. I mean, that's me trying to logically explain it.
My only logical, like, scientific explanation is that, the lamppost being, I'm not techie, so like they're having some like, it would be easier if I knew the words.
Technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties. Well, like, because I'm thinking, like, how often does this lamppost have to be changed? And is it like,
true.
Is it just solar?
And honestly, why is it there? I don't know.
Maybe it's there because people don't realize that it's a dead end. Are there signs leading up to?
No, there's not. Yeah, it's kind of it's off a main road, but it doesn't look like a road. So I could see someone wandering onto it by accident.
And then crashing into it.
And then going all the way down and not realizing that it was a dead end because there aren't really signs around it. So
that's my logic. If somebody dies somewhere, there's always like an added lamppost or sign saying like, hey, watch out, blah, blah, blah.
That doesn't bode well for the spookiness factor.
It does not. And then for it to, the lamppost shuts off and then your car shuts off.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Creepy.
There is an episode of Evil.
Evil. Yes.
Evil. That has something like that where there's like an electrical current that like shuts off cars. And makes it appear that there's like a demon. And I don't know which way this show is going because like they're both trying to make it scientific but also supernatural.
Yeah.
So it was confusing because then they solved the scientific part of it, but then the priests still experience a supernatural experience.
Which one is it?
Oh, which one?
We'll never know.
Which one are you? Evil! You know who I'm trying to imitate, right?
Of course, Mermaid Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Mermaid.
We all know that.
That's my mermaid. Forget about Ariel. You were concerned about Haley being a mermaid?
Look at that man.
Look at that old man.
Look at those man boobs. He's a cartoon
I don't.
as well.
I don't want to.
I don't. Please no. He's got nice little slippers though. Spooky spots.
Spooky spots.
Both spooky spot stories for sure.
Oh, yes.
Don't like revisiting that.
Yeah, don't go to the forest.
I ain't going to either of those places that we just talked about, and neither should you.
I can no more anyway.
But I would like to hear about your spooky stories.
Please.
Spooky spots, spooky stories.
I would
anything really.
love everyone to just send us your spooky stories. I love nothing more.
Yearning for it.
I love it.
Want
I
it.
like go on BuzzFeed and I like consume all of their spooky shit that they have.
It just takes one. Just takes one person out there to be the first caller. Okay, we have more. We've had one.
We've had
Besides
one.
us. Besides us. We have one. But we need more. We need more.
Yeah.
So please do it and tell your friends to do it.
and your mom, if you have any cultural kind of spookiness.
Yeah.
Let,
Oh, yeah.
you know.
Oh, we should also probably say the number.
Yeah.
Which is 773-669-6677.
Wow. Yeah, and just follow us on Instagram. Color me Leslie.
And me at BP Pritchie T. And us at the Deadlights Pod.
Deadlights.
Also check out Plague on Social, which is the studio that we're recording this from.
Mm-hmm.
But until next minisode,
Let's get mini spooky.
We are in spooky spaces.
My nose is itchy.